Trade recap of the day. We lost. We lost 1k across 3 evals, so we're down 3k on eval money for the day, which puts me about break even on all 3 accounts. I've won 1, lost 1 trade on the eval so far, but this is a bad loss. In the moment, I thought it was a good trade, and for about maybe 15 minutes after, I was like, okay, it's a good trade. But it's not a good trade, and I'll tell you why. What I failed to recognize was that the new week opening gap, I realized it was there. I thought that the fill of the gap is this point here. Or technically is the fill of that point, that is correct. However, you're meant to go on a 1 hour time frame and mark out from there. That's where the market reacts the most. So in the 1 hour time frame, the new week opening gap fill is there. As the same on the S, it's there. I had the out marked wrong, so I didn't realize we would bounce from this position here. So when we whipped up initially at 9:30 or 2:30, I didn't think we took out any liquidity. It is a rejection block, but rejection blocks are only good rejection blocks if they bounce out or if they take significant liquidity, which I didn't think it did. So I used that as a target or a break-even point to then try and aim for this 30-minute intermediate high, which is definitely a good draw on liquidity. However, this formed, it is a rejection block because it's taken out significant liquidity, which is a new week opening gap fill, which is the same as, you've got to try and see it the same as like a 15-minute or an hourly fair value gap, or even a daily fair value gap. So targeting this liquidity is stupid. As you see here, it's respected the 50% absolutely perfectly, which I failed to kind of realize and process before, because I haven't really back tested, or I've never known before that it was the hourly gap fill that you're meant to mark out. So if this line here that we bounced out initially was a high time frame or a new week opening up fill, I wouldn't have traded back up to it, because once you have a strong reaction out, which it did, it becomes high resistance liquidity, and there's got a clear rejection block, as you can see. So you do not want to target that. If you're lucky, you'll get an S&T at your break-even point. That does occur sometimes with these rejection blocks, and it did, but ES took the opening high here, okay, and NQ didn't. So there was an S&T here, but the wrong way for me. So if you're lucky, and even if it's a bad trade, you're lucky and you get break even there. That just wasn't the case today. However, it's not a good trade to take. I mean, I think the rest of it is fine, the narrative behind it. I know it's an unsponsored 5-minute we swept out. It was 5-minute intermediate lows, but we did have an S&T at the low, and we had great displacement. But it's all about just high resistance liquidity, knowing your draws, knowing what your key levels actually are, because I didn't know. But yeah, that's why this trade lost, and that's why we were bearish today. I couldn't see us being bearish until that gap was filled, which I thought was up here, and clearly it wasn't. So yeah, that's why the trade failed, and it wasn't a good trade, but in the moment I thought it was, and that's the most important thing. You've got to take the trades in the moment that you think are important, otherwise you're not going to learn from your mistakes. And I felt like this was a bad trade right about here. I decided, no, I'm just going to keep going, and I'm going to learn from my mistakes. I'm not going to wuss out, because if I got out here and I took this second trade, which I probably would have, I would have won on the day, and I would have thought, nice, I'm a good trader, it's fine. But I wouldn't have realised why this was such a bad setup up here. So it's important to take the trades that you think are good and learn from your mistakes. So I won't make that mistake again. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Yeah, that is the trade recap. We took a long, obviously longs weren't the play, and we did end up missing a trade because if I didn't take that, I would 100% taken this, which is what I was looking for in the first place. A sweep into this 30-minute gap. It was the first trade over here was also a bad trade because the sweep wasn't the best. Displacement's good. I mean, I thought targets were good as well, but they weren't. But taking it into account now, yeah, it just wasn't the best of trades because we had a 30-minute below. That's what I was looking for. So I would have taken a long here. Because once we sweep a certain high, we're not going to, well, we tend to not retrace immediately, then go to the next high. Well, if it's a significant high, we tend to look for higher sponsorship, higher liquidity levels to send us higher because we need the strength. Because we've just taken out a big liquidity point up here. So we need more strength than just a 5-minute gap to bring us up past that high, which clearly we were wrong about that anyway. It was bearish on the day, but look how much strength came from this push to this push. Okay. So yeah, would have gone here. Probably would have gone for a 1-to-1, I can't lie. So that would have played out. But I didn't take it because on evals I can only lose 1k a day, or on some evals you can lose 2k a day, and that's you done. But I'm on Apex and they only allow $1,000 daily loss limit, so I can only do one trade a day, which is unfortunate, but is what it is. And we learn from it. Most important thing about it. So I've done this for 9-10 months now, so obviously I'm not the best trader in the world. I'm still learning. I think I'm good. I'm definitely at the break-even point, and my psychology is good. But still, little things like this can make me even higher. Change me from 60% win rate to 70%. You know, and that's the target. So thanks for watching, and hope that that helped me more than probably most of you guys. But yeah, really does help. Especially if I'm recording live, I'm way less likely to take a revenge trade. When I lost here, I was like, well, I want to take that, but I couldn't anyway. But if I had room and space, I might have taken that because that's the type of, that's kind of like re-entry there. Same targets. I probably would have tried to target up here, I can't lie. Would have taken partials though. So I was still long on the day. Anyway, that's it. Thank you. Bye. God, I sound like I'm ending a phone call. Goodbye. Au revoir.